Hi, I'm Stuart and welcome to SIRENNET Television. Going to take a look at a product from Whelen Engineering that Chris has over in Studio 2. It is the part number PSL2BB. Take it away, Chris.
Thank you, Stuart. I have here Whelen's dual SlimLine Pioneer, the cast black housing. I'm going to quickly show you how the unit disassembles for doing a lens change, and also a close-up look at the inside of the diode boards and the inner optics behind your changeable lenses here. To start the process, I'm going to go ahead, remove the 4 bolts containing the front face. You can see they're in there nice and tight, the way the housing just popped out on the side there. And with the removal of the 4th bolt, the front face can be taken off. See there's a nice deep groove there to surround the lens, seal it tight onto the front of the SlimLine. With the front removed, you can now change out your inside lens. We'll get to that in a second here. I'm going to go ahead now, give you a look at the inside optics here. You can see that they're a deep dished diode, total of 12 on each side here. To give you a close-up look behind the optics here, I'm going to remove 4 screws containing each side here. So now with the 4 screws loosened up, go ahead, pull out the inner optic here. See that it's a 1-piece polycarbonate section. Back of the dishing. So if you're able to kind of take a zoom in on the side of the optic, it's basically working from a small to a wide fluting. So that way the optic disperses the inside diode. So basically taking the small intensity of the diode and expanding it so it fills out the entire portion of the lens. Look at the inside of the board here. And again, see a total of 12 diodes, 2 rows, 6 in each. So one side with the optic still on versus the other side. Going to go ahead and take this one off as well quickly. Again, now that the 4 screws have been loosened, remove the optic portion, give you an inside look, fully diode and board portion without any optics. On the bottom of the cast housing, the 2 yellow stickers here are Gore-Tex breathers. So they're actually a small micro filter that allows condensation to disperse from inside the housing. So you can see in the bottom of the housing there's actually holes all the way through the casting covered by the Gore-Tex breather on the bottom. So also, something important to remember when you're mounting your SlimLines, you want to make sure that you have the breather holes on the bottom. That way condensation can properly disperse from inside the housing. The diode board here is affixed into the cast housing with the wiring harness. Just in the bail bracket there, you can see on the back of the SlimLine Pioneer, it's got a weatherproof connection where the harness goes into the casting. It's sealed very nice and tight from the factory to keep the harness nice and snug and also to keep any kind of moisture from the back of the housing. Now you've taken a look at the inner workings of the SlimLine Pioneer, the rear wiring harness, close up at the diode boards. I'm going to go ahead, put the inner optics back in. Same thing again on the other side here. Both snug down nice and tightly. In the cast housing front here, there's a nice thick gasket. This helps to keep the front lens sealed to the housing, as well as keep condensation from getting into the housing. So go ahead, realign that into the groove. A neat feature with Whelen's SlimLine Pioneer is it comes with interchangeable lenses. You have a total of 3 different ones to pick from, depending on how you're wanting your Pioneer to be utilized. You have a lens portion here that's a 40x20 flood. The non-optic is an 8-degree spot. And the third is a combination of the two. On the lenses with the optics, there's a rough side and a smooth side. So when you put these on to your SlimLine Pioneer, you're going to want to make sure that your optics, the rough portion, is what's being snugged down to the inside of the Pioneer. Take the front of the cast housing face again here. Realign the edges with the outer screw holes. Oops. Just going to go ahead, cinch these down a little bit. That way I don't have to try to keep a hand on the face while I'm putting the other 2 screws in. Now to help seal the front face on the Pioneer, and in turn seal the inner optic with a seal that's in the second part of the cast housing, I'm going to cinch the screws down similar to torquing lug nuts on a car. Basically going to do it in a cross manner, so that way the face seals and pressurizes the gasket equally across it. Cinch that down, nice and firm. Gone ahead and reassembled the front of the housing. Nice option that's included with the SlimLine Pioneer is the flexible bail bracket here. Flexible in that it offers great versatility in how you're going to mount it. You can flat mount it onto a surface like so. If you wanted to hang it, flip the bracket over. Also, you can adjust the way the light will downfuse or shine upward if necessary on the front of a DOT or utility. And again, keep in mind when mounting, keep your Gore-Tex breathers facing the bottom. So now that I've given you a look at the inners and the reassembly of the SlimLine Pioneer, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on for you. On the harness here, there's a total of 4 wires. You have 2 leads, 2 grounds. What this allows you to do is control each portion of the Pioneer independently. Now that I have it connected to power, you can see one portion lit up here. Sorry for blinding you out as well as the camera crew. And on the alligator clips here, for lighting up the one side, you can see that I have the red lead connected to the green ground. To change and light up the other side of the unit, I'll simply change the alligator clips so the lead will be on the white, ground will be on the black, to light up the other side of the Pioneer. And if you want to have both portions of the Pioneer on at the same time, it's simply a matter of connecting your 2 leads together, as well as your 2 grounds together. That way, again, sorry for blinding you, lights up the Pioneer, both portions simultaneously. Nice feature with the LEDs is they're instantaneous on and off. So again, I'll go ahead, turn it on here quickly. You can see, unlike a halogen, there's no filament that has to heat up and then disperse as the power leaves it. Another nice thing about the light emitted by LEDs is there's no UV produced that attracts pesky mosquitoes and moths. So again, Whelen's SlimLine Pioneer, dual unit, the black cast housing. I'm Chris. Thanks for spending some time with me on SIRENNET Television. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, thanks a million, Chris. Pretty darn interesting. I'm Stuart, and thanks for watching SIRENNET Television.